Influencer caught vaping on the plane, but now it's the airline's fault.
So it'll be on you, and
Yes.
I see you're recording.
That's fine.
Right
You're not
now.
allowed to do that. Did you put your hands on me? She just put her hands on me.
Kobe Pickleball, whose real name is Peter Nguyen, has caught himself up in quite the controversy. Peter is a micro-influencer, having currently, as I've seen, 26,000 followers on Instagram under the username at DJKO8E. So, what exactly has this influencer done, you might ask? Well, he has shared a video that has gone viral in which he has framed himself to be the victim in this story. Watch till the end to see who you think the victim actually is. This story is a wild one. On board an American Airlines flight, Peter has shared his experience of an air hostess allegedly opening the door to the toilet in a forcible manner, trying to take his phone to then stop recording, and in his words, exposing him to the cabin. This on surface level does sound awful, but the internet are absolutely ripping this video to shreds. So in his video description, Kobe didn't actually state that the door was opened because he was allegedly smoking a vape on board the flight. So before we actually go full into this story, do you know why a vape or e-cigarette is illegal to have on board the flight? I think it's a pretty common argument now that a lot of people say that vaping is better than smoking. However, many airlines have now stopped just holding a vape in your hold luggage due to dangers. So this is actually due to a risk of unintentional activation because of the pressure. If pressure is applied to the device, you can then risk overheating the battery. And then of course, with the battery overheating, we are then opening up for potentials of fires. There has actually been cases of this happening with vapes in the hold, and that's just so dangerous. So I'm not surprised why vapes are not allowed on board, especially not to be smoked. It is also, when you vape, you can see the vapor or the smoke, and all air hostesses are trained to spot smoke and to investigate the source, which obviously Kobe has found out. With the smoke, there is also then a risk of it setting off fire alarms and detectors. This means the plane will usually then descend to a lower altitude so that the air hostesses can kind of investigate and hopefully sort out the cause. But this can then cause emergency landings and just a lot of unnecessary panic for everyone involved, which just isn't needed. So the cabin crew members noted to the staff member that Peter was filming the attendant, and she therefore tries to snatch his phone away.
That's fine. You're not allowed to do that.
I do think this initial reaction probably could have been dealt with a little different. Maybe just asking him to stop filming first before automatically trying to take the phone. But many airlines do have rules regarding filming on board. Some may forbid it entirely, while others can just have specific restrictions, such as not allowing photos or videos of the crew or other passengers. And normally you do just need permission to film anyone else on your flight. An airplane is classed as a private environment. A lot of private environments come with very strict regulations. So I'm not sure if the act of filming the cabin crew is inherently 100% illegal. However, it can then open up legal issues kind of under privacy and data protection laws. So Peter retaliates, saying she is not allowed to do that in regards to opening the door, and he just continues escalating the situation, saying she put her hands on me, I am a lawyer.
She put her hands on me. I have a lawyer. I am a lawyer.
He just continues the assault allegations. It kind of just snowballs a bit. Now, on Peter's page, on his Instagram page, he states that he is a celebrity pickleball coach and an AI expert. On going through his page, he said he once looked into pursuing law. However, he did decide to change paths. However, on the 27th of August, he has shared, after everything that's happened, writing my own demand letters, filing federal complaints, organising legal exhibits, and standing up for my rights, I realised something. I might actually be good at this, so I'm officially trying my hand at becoming a paralegal. It's so great to realise your goals. Find something you're really good at or just something you're very passionate about. But from what he has shared online and from what I can see, he isn't a lawyer as stated. His escalation of then calling himself a lawyer on the video just seems a bit out of touch and just a bit bizarre. I don't know if it's that he's wanting to be a lawyer and he believes he has the knowledge of a lawyer maybe, but again, he has stated after the video he is looking into studying paralegal and going into paralegal, but he isn't currently doing anything like that. As he has stated, he's a celebrity pickleball coach, and we will go into that a bit more, the repercussions that's happening, but it was just a bit of a weird statement to bring up. And now he uses the very famous trump card that a lot of people have been using on social media recently. Peter weaponizes his audience of 25,000 followers, and he says that they will all be watching this video. Don't get me wrong, I would love to have 25,000 followers. It's definitely a goal, and you know, it'd be great to reach it. However, in the grand scheme of things, it isn't the largest following. It is kind of under that micro influencer realm, and for sure you should be proud of that, you know, something to be proud of and to be happy to share, but it isn't something to weaponize. So he continues to threaten, do you want me to release this or do you want to say sorry to me right now?
I have 25,000 followers. I have 25,000 followers that are going to watch this.
And he just continues to kind of berate her with threatening to call the police, furthering the assault claims. It just gets very messy. There is a follow-up post saying that the American Airlines customer service had called to say that they were doing an internal investigation, and apparently that similar instances has happened in the past. I'm not too sure, and I don't think I saw this post. I've just seen that there has been statements regarding it. He has shared a series of updates urging for a response from the American Airlines, stating this is about dignity, accountability, and justice. Amongst the updates, there is something that I really want to touch on and share about. So he stated, disability rights are not optional. Attacking an autistic passenger is an attack on every vulnerable traveller. All disabilities aren't visible. We know that. I know that myself through my own problems. But this wasn't an attack on being autistic. This is a response to allegedly vaping on the plane, which is illegal. It can carry fines, bans, criminal charges. Disabilities are so often not taken seriously and they're overlooked. They can carry such a large stigma. You know, a lot of people do generalise the community to be a certain way or that there's overreactions. I just think that this throwing around its attack on autism is really distasteful. I think it's unfair to kind of attribute that this was an attack on autism. It just doesn't seem like the two things are connected. And I personally don't think this helps in the conversation surrounding disabilities and rights and just people treating people with disabilities the same as everyone else. There is such a stigma and I don't think we should be adding to it. I'm not to say that maybe this really affected him, and autism is hard. I'm diagnosed with autism. It can be very hard and everyone deals with it differently. So there's no doubt this situation could have been very stressful and could have affected him a lot. However, I don't think it's fair to then kind of say this is discrimination or ableism or kind of any of those things, because I just think it's kind of an unnecessary thing to bring into the conversation. This wasn't due to him being autistic. She didn't attack him because he's autistic. She opened the door because she had seen smoke and thought that it allegedly had been vaping, so she was carrying out her job. That's got nothing to do with autism. If you are enjoying this video so far, please be sure to subscribe down below to help support this channel. I really appreciate it and I'm trying to grow this place, so let's continue on to this wild influencer story. I'll be honest, the aftermath of what's happened really does not seem worth it for Peter. So he was a coach on TeachMe.2 and he was accordingly charging $280 an hour and completing over 40 lessons with dozens of students. I will just say, I cannot believe you can earn that much an hour for teaching pickleball. That is crazy. There is a lot of money, I suppose, and if he is teaching celebrities, obviously I'm sure the price tag does increase a lot more. So after all of this media and hate, he has now had his Teach Me account closed, removed without warning. So Peter has shared a statement. I've formally requested a settlement of $25,000 for the income lost and reputational damage caused. I've always stood for transparency, so I'm sharing this publicly. This concretes a pattern by the influencer. Every hate comment, he is asking for settlement fees on the grounds of harassment. Just scrolling through his page, you can see him replying back to comments saying, I'm requesting X amount of money for harassment fees, for defamation, for this, for that. Kind of, there is a lot of posts. There was one video I saw that he reshared saying that he's wanting $100,000, I believe, for defamation and unfair use of video and things like that. He has stated he has now shared over 100 names with the SFPD with full names and screenshots regarding to harassment cases and claims. So from a content standpoint, of course, defamation does come into the conversation, but as long as people are sharing the facts and the truth, basically, the grounds of defamation does become a little bit more muddled. Truth and fair comment is part of content, and once the material like this is online, I think we all know that it's then going to be open for judgment and interpretation. I've said before, I don't agree with harassing people, and again, just a lot of hate is very unnecessary, but I think shining a light on these situations is also just as important. The internet has been very against him, I'll be honest. Many bringing up the comments surrounding his influencer status and following number that he brought up during the argument, and also a lot of people kind of saying it's sad that as a modern day society, all we seem to do is validate our worth by a online statistic. I do agree. I think a lot of people kind of equate themselves to a number on a screen, and that is concerning. I do also think people let fame get to their head, and these numbers can be toxic in many ways. Some people can beat themselves up over these numbers, and some people let it inflate their ego too much. I think it's concerning, and I don't think that was something that needed to be brought up in the conversation. So the internet is trolling on that a lot. People are now speculating about what they think may happen. Will he end up on a no-fly list? If the vaping was true, he technically would have been filming himself committing a crime. Will he now have repercussions? Could the attendant now actually be looking at criminal charges against him for infringement of privacy and defamation? This story just seems insane. I really hope that the attendant is okay, as it did seem a very charged encounter. She didn't ask for any of this attention, and even if the internet is on her side, it wasn't asked for. He has chosen to share this video. So posting, we know that opens yourself up for criticism, but she had no choice in that, and that in itself just isn't fair. She was just following her job roles realistically. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a full influencer crash out? Do you think she should have opened the door if those vape allegations were concrete truth? If it is truly for the safety of the cabin, I completely understand it, I'll be honest. While up in the air, I'd really hope the people that were caring for that task took our safety seriously and with the most professionalism, because you're thousands of feet up in the air. I'd want that to be taken as seriously as possible. So let me know what you guys think down below. This story just seems nuts. I mean, he seems to be sharing a lot more daily about chasing lawsuits, about the money he's chasing for harassment, for defamation, and again kind of throwing different conversations about, I'm not too sure what's going to happen from here. This is just, you know, I want to share the facts. A little bit of my opinion, I don't think he should be hated on to a massive extent, don't get me wrong. He has chose to share the video, and again, sharing stuff online, you do know you're open for criticism, but you know, ultimately, I hope whatever needs to happen happens in regards to the legal sides of things. And I hope that everyone that is involved is doing okay. Well, thank you guys for watching this video, and please again be sure to subscribe to see more content like this. I'm aiming for 30 uploads in the next 30 days, so stick around to see more. And again, please like and comment your views below. I'd really love to know what you think, and it does help the channel. And until the next one.